Hi friends, glad to have you here for this video. This is going to be all about the top 10 best-selling makeup products at Target. For whatever reason, I thought this would be an interesting video to do. I really wanted to focus in on the best sellers because, you know, those are popular items, but they're not necessarily top rated. So I thought it'd be cool to take this opportunity to look at each of them. Some of them are products that I've definitely had in my collection for quite some time, and just kind of talk about whether or not they're worthy. Are they really that good? Are these makeup bandwagons you should jump on? And I figured this out. I got on Target's website. I used the filters to look at bestsellers. I narrowed it down to only makeup products and brushes and beauty tools. The thing I'm not certain about is whether this is only products sold online at Target's website or if in-store purchases are also factored into that data. I'm not 100% certain, but either way, I think this is an interesting little top 10, and there are some surprises in here for me. There is a really loud bird. It's very distracting, but I'm gonna go through the top 10. We're gonna go up to the number 1 best-selling product as it appears on Target's website. So number 10 is actually the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This is a product I'm very familiar with. I love this highlight. I think this is a great natural highlighter. It's really on the softest end of the spectrum. I like it because when I put it on my skin, instead of giving me a streak of visible highlight, what it gives is this soft, real skin glow. So if you're looking for a highlight that's not too much, that doesn't exaggerate the look of pores and fine lines, just something really wearable for every day, I think this is a great option. I forgot to give you the heads up that as I go throughout this video, I did do little demos with these various products, but they may appear out of order because I'm just going through the top 10 10 to 1. Number 9 is the EOS Sweet Mint Sphere, and this is a great product. I mean, I've been a big fan of the EOS products, and I had a bunch of these quite a while back, but have since tossed them out and more recently repurchased this one, and it's a lot smoother than I remember. I remember the texture of these being just a little bit stiffer, but this had a really fantastic glide, and the scent is just like that sweet mint gum from Orbitz or whatever the brand is. So I like it. I feel like they improved the formula since these very first came out. They were a little bit drier and thicker, and I think the feel of this is probably a lot more pleasing to a lot of people. Number 8 is another lip balm, and it's the Yes to Coconuts Naturally Smooth Lip Balm. This is a 99% natural product. I do like the shape of this. It's shaped like those Neutrogena lip balms that I really enjoy, and if you like a coconut scent, it is all there. It's a very natural, really good pure coconut smell. And the smoothness of the lip balm is really nice. It almost has a little bit more of a slip across the skin than the regular Burt's Bees lip balm has. I've used it recently as I've had really dry lips the past couple of weeks, and it's been good. The staying power isn't amazing. Not that you're expecting fantastic staying power out of a lip balm or anything, but it's you kind of want something that's gonna hang on to your lips a little bit better so they feel more moisturized long term. You know what I'm saying? I think the EOS actually hangs around a bit longer on the lips before I need to reapply. Number 7 is another highlight, and this is the Maybelline Master Chrome. And this is an intense highlight. Probably one of the most intense, as far as potential to get a really maximum glow on the skin. Probably one of the most intense from the drugstore. This is really going there, and it's a very golden shade. And in this demo, I just sort of layered this on top of the Essence, because the Essence is not a huge highlighter factor on the skin here. It's a very soft look, and I thought, well, just to show, I'll put this on top. And it's really intense with just a little bit of product. And at a distance, I've got that on my skin now, I think it looks kind of pretty, but when I look up close at my skin, it really does exaggerate any kind of fine line happening out in this area, and pores. You've really got to watch it. So I don't think that highlight's for everyone. I think almost anybody could pick up the Pure Nude and have better looking skin for putting this one on, but it's not giving you that super reflective highlight. This definitely is, but I think there might be a slight price to pay in terms of the look of any texture on your skin. Number 6, we've got another lip balm in the mix here, and it is the Vaseline Lip Therapy Rosy Lips. This is such a random thing to have in this top 10. I don't know. I had this product way back and have since repurchased it because I knew I was going to do this video a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to sort of retest some of these things, and it's definitely definitely adorable. I mean, a mini-sized tub of Vaseline. Who doesn't want that, right? But the rosy lips thing, it's very, very subtle. Like, get this more because you're wanting Vaseline for your lips, not so much because of the actual tint, because the tint is like hardly visible. You're gonna get more tint out of a Dr. Pepper lip smacker or, you know, any of those Neutrogena tinted lip balms. Those are amazing. What I do like about this though is there is some real thickness to this. It's thicker than just regular straight up Vaseline. Talking about staying power and not needing to reapply too frequently with lip balms, I would say this is the one I need to apply the most frequently. It wears off the fastest. The EOS is kind of in the middle. It does a considerably better job compared to the Yes to Coconuts, but this one is really thick and nice. The application style, you know, having to dip your finger in there is not going to be everyone's desired way to go about it, so there's sort of a con. But thickness-wise, in terms of being a nice treatment for the lips, it is quite nice. And it does have a really nice scent, like just a slightly rosy thing going on there. Number 5 is the Real Techniques Flawless Base Brush Set. And I've got to go back here and get a look at what this is now, because when I first bought this, it was a little different configuration of brushes. Now they've got something that's like a very flat top, but also pinched in kind of foundation-y brush, and there's also an itty-bitty concealer type brush. I'm not sure where that brush is living in my collection right now, but the two main ones that I really adore from this set are the buffing brush. This is a great one for foundation application, BB creams, powder foundations even. This is awesome for that. Super soft, just a great size. And then also this guy, which I've brought out constantly for contouring. You could absolutely use it for powder contour, but I love it for creams. Just the size of the brush, it's synthetic bristles, and it just really works in cream contour very, very well. It's small enough to apply enough pressure and really get that kind of thing buffed into the skin, but it's not so small that it streaks you out. So in this set, if you buy it these days, again, there's going to be a little flat top looking brush and also a teeny tiny brush that could be like a pinpointed concealer type thing. But even for only these two, it's worth it. That's a great brush set. Number 4 on the top 10 best-selling products from Target is the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. I've had this in my collection for a while, was not completely blown away by it in terms of being super different from other things. Like, it performs every bit as well as other setting sprays that I like my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. I'm not convinced yet that this is better than that, but I'm going to make a commitment to you guys that I'm going to use this consistently and try to figure out like if it's really leaps and bounds better than something else. What I do love, it's got a great scent. Like just kind of a very lightly fresh scent. Has anybody noticed that? It smells really nice, and the sprayer is fantastic, a really fine mist. When I mist it on my skin, I wouldn't say it changes the texture a whole lot. Like there's my Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer Mist and my Mario Badescu sprays, and those really, I think, give an immediate look of radiance to the skin. This might turn out to be something that performs closer to an Urban Decay All-Nighter or something like that, but I need to use it with more consistency to be able to tell you. So I'm gonna do that. This is gonna be the setting spray I'm gonna be working with to really see if it gives this 16-hour wear. Number 3 on the bestsellers list is the Real Techniques sponge. You guys know I love this sponge. It's really soft. You're looking at it right now at maximum size because I used it to apply my foundation today. I'm wearing the e.l.f. Flawless Finish, I believe it's called, in Sand, and I just love the softness of this sponge, the way it blends product out. You're gonna have a flat side to it and then also a pointed side at the other end, and I think here's the determination I've come to. I still really like this sponge, but my top favorite like drugstore blending sponge, or really top favorite shape overall, is this one from NYX, and this one is not saturated, so it's at its smallest size, but it has the flat side, but it also has this little curved off side at the bottom. So what's really nice about that is if you like bouncing a beauty blender on top of your skin and you like that little rounded bottom that it has, this really has that too, and it's super soft when you get it all like saturated and then ringed out. This, you you know, I still love the Real Techniques sponge, but I'm finding less of a need for the little pointed part and more of a desire to have that rounded bottom just for bouncing product in. But I do love the flatness here. I mean, I think it's a great sponge. And if you're looking for a really nice affordable thing that's going to apply foundation and give you a really nice even look like a beauty blender might, I think this, along with the NYX sponge, a couple of the best things you can go for. Number 2 is the Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda Concealer Palette. Oh my gosh, talk about rediscovered favorite here. It was years ago when I first tried this stuff, when it was back in the white trimmed packaging. And so recently, like I said, I thought about doing this video and I repurchased it, and I've got it in the shade light, and I'm being reminded that this is probably one of the best concealers in the drugstore, period. Like, it's a great, great product. You're gonna get 3 creamy concealer shades. 2 of them are like, I would say, a light concealer, a skin tone match concealer, and then this neutralizer that just has a hint of olive to it. Like, I would use this around areas with redness. And then there's an awesome, very smooth, buttery, rich setting powder. It actually adds some additional coverage on top of these concealers. I've hit pan on my old palette that I had of this. It's just really, really good stuff. And the texture of the concealers is so nice and creamy, really fantastic coverage. So the way I like to put it on is I'll take the deeper of the 2, dab it on the under eye, and then add a little bit of the light on top. So ultimately I end up getting a blend of those shades. And then you can use the lighter shade anywhere on your face you want to highlight. The neutralizer, like I said, around any redness. Get it all blended out. I even use my Real Techniques sponge to do some of that blending. And then the ability to set it and have that right there in this little bitty compact, that fantastic matte setting powder is so, so nice. So this is a total recommendation and something that I am going to be reminded to go back to again and again. And Target's #1 best-selling makeup product is the NYX Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette. Now, this does come in a couple of shade options. One is really bright and colorful. This is the one called Warm Neutrals. This is the one that first came up. I suspect this is probably the best-selling one that they have. But yeah, neutral eyeshadow palette. I'm kind of surprised it's a bestseller because this isn't exactly cheap. This actually sells for $17.99, but it has a ton of positive ratings as well. It's a matte and shimmer neutral mix, and I would say, I know this comparison has been drawn before, but it's giving me a very Naked Heat type feel. You've got some rusty and golden metallics. Got a really dark burgundy, a dark kind of reddish brown, light highlight shades in matte and shimmery options. I mean, the way I use this today, I'll just bounce right into a tutorial here for you, but I used one of the mid-tone browns in my crease just to get things going there. And then anytime there's a rust, you guys see what that rusty shade is made of, so I used that dark matte in my crease as well. And once I got that blended out, I used a cream shade up as my highlight, and then also one of the light champagne colors for a little more of a pop on my brow bone. And then on my lid, I used the lightest gold on the innermost part, and then I worked more toward the center of my lid with the deeper gold. Then once I got those patted on there, I took the rich, warm, dark brown, and I got that all on my outer corner area. And I used some of that on my lower lash line as well as some of the medium brown just to get it all smudgy and smoky. The end result, I definitely think, is a pretty look. I see why people like this palette. It's very usable, and I think it has probably been referenced a lot on YouTube as being a good shadow option. For me, I think the strength in this palette would be the mid-tone and deeper mattes. The shimmers honestly disappointed me a little bit though. Like this gold and this gold, I expected to see way more richness out of those shades. They're just definitely on the sheer side, and when you do build them up on the eyes, they don't look like that nice kind of smooth, really sleek sheen across the skin. I know I've been messing with my LORAC Mega Pro 4 a lot lately, and it's not really fair to maybe even compare the two, but the way those shadows like hang together as you put them on, and the mattes are really doing a good job in this palette, but the shimmers are really more on the sheer side, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I would say while there have been a bunch of things in this top 10 where I've been like, yes, this is a great thing, totally deserving of being a best-selling product, this one I couldn't put my fullest recommendation behind it. If I had to pick some favorites out of this top 10 that I think are the best things that I've talked about, I love the Essence Pure Nude Highlight. I mean, this is my winner right here. here from Target, the Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda Concealer Palette. These brushes from Real Techniques are just fabulous and I think can hang with any other high-end type brush, and I love the sponge too. This, along with the NYX, you know, a couple of my top makeup face sponges, this is in my rotation, you know. I'll use one, I'll get it dirty, I'll grab for a clean one, you know, if it's this, that's great. And please, you guys, hold me accountable on this Milani Make It Last setting spray because I'm gonna keep using this. I really wanna know how closely it's gonna end up comparing to something that I really know works well, like Urban Decay All Nighter, let's say. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up. That would be a nice way to let me know if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing as well. But thank you so much for your time, and I will see you soon. Bye.